Ancient Egypt may be long gone, but archaeologists keep finding its treasures. Thanks to dedicated archaeologists, historians, and their hardworking team, many of ancient Egypt's wonders have been revealed in the modern centuries. From the Khufu Ship to the Silver Pharaoh, these discoveries are some of the most fascinating regarding ancient Egypt. Each new discovery carries new details about an era of ancient Egypt. Watch further to find out more. The Valley of the Golden Mummies. This story dates back to the beginning of 1999. Archaeologist Zahi Hawass and his archaeological expedition discovered the Valley of the Golden Mummies in Bahariya Oasis in the Western Desert, 385 kilometers from Cairo. This is one of the most important archaeological discoveries in the 20th century that amazed the whole world. This discovery unveiled a huge number of golden mummies, which convinced Hawass that this valley, a large spatial area that takes a long time of organized excavation work, is definitely filled with mummies. Only 250 mummies were discovered in previous seasons. The discovered mummies date back to the 1st and 2nd centuries AD, when Egypt was under the Roman rule. These discovered mummies show the continuity of the Egyptian religion in this period, despite the existence of the beliefs of the Greek and Roman ruling class, which were influenced by the ancient Egyptian religion. Most of the discovered mummies have gilded masks and chests and are decorated with hieroglyphic inscriptions and religious drawings. Tutankhamun's tomb. British archaeologist Howard Carter and his team discovered the tomb of King Tutankhamun in the Valley of the Kings in Egypt on November 4 in 1922. When Carter first arrived in Egypt in 1891, most of the ancient Egyptian tombs had already been discovered, but the little-known King Tutankhamun, who had died when he was 18, was still unaccounted for. After World War I, Carter began an intensive search for King Tut's tomb, finally finding steps to the burial room hidden in the debris near the entrance of the nearby tomb of King Ramses VI in the Valley of the Kings. On November 26 in 1922, Carter and fellow archaeologist Lord Carnarvon entered the interior chambers of the tomb, finding them miraculously intact. Thus began a monumental excavation process in which Carter carefully explored the four-room tomb over several years, uncovering an incredible collection of several thousand objects. The most splendid architectural find was a stone sarcophagus containing 3 coffins nested within each other. Inside the final coffin, which was made out of solid gold, was the mummy of the boy King Tutankhamun, preserved for more than 3,000 years. Most of these treasures are now housed in the Cairo Museum. The Khufu Ship. Also known as the Khufu Solar Boat, this 4,600-year-old cedar boat was owned by King Pharaoh Khufu around 2500 BC. Unintentionally unearthed in 1954 by Egyptian engineer Kamel El-Malak, the ship was originally found in thousands of pieces. Thanks to the artful hands and hard work of Egyptian restorer Ahmed Youssef Mustafa, the ancient ship was restored to its former glory, taking over 1,200 pieces of cedar wood in 14 years. It's unknown exactly what the ship is for. Some argue it's a vessel to carry the king into the afterlife, while others suggest it was an actual ship that transported the pharaoh to distant lands. Whatever its intention, it's an impressive archaeological find about 143 feet long. The Rosetta Stone. This stone is one of the most important objects in the British Museum, as it holds the key to understanding Egyptian hieroglyphs, a script made up of small pictures that was used originally in ancient Egypt for religious texts. Hieroglyphic writing died out in Egypt in the 4th century. Over time, the knowledge of how to read hieroglyphs was lost until the discovery of the Rosetta Stone in 1799 and its subsequent decipherment. The stone is a tablet of black rock called granodiorite. It is part of a larger inscribed stone that would have stood some 2 meters high. The top part of the stone is broken off at an angle, in line with a band of pink granite whose crystalline structure glints a little in the light. The back of the Rosetta Stone is rough where it has been hewn into shape, but the front face is smooth and crammed with text inscribed in 3 different scripts. These form 3 distinct bands of writing. The Rosetta Stone is written in 2 languages, Egyptian and Greek, and 3 writing systems, hieroglyphic, Demotic, and Greek. The inscriptions are 3 translations of the same decree passed by a council of priests that affirms the royal cult of the 13-year-old Ptolemy V on the 1st anniversary of his coronation. The decree is inscribed on the stone 3 times in hieroglyphic suitable for a priestly decree, Demotic, the native script used for daily purposes, and Greek, the language of the administration. The importance of this to Egyptology is immense. In the early years of the 19th century, scholars were able to use the Greek inscription on this stone as the key to deciphering the others. The Lost Golden City of Luxor. Regarded as one of the most important finds since the discovery of King Tut's tomb, the Lost Golden City of Luxor also goes by the dazzling Aten. The 3,400-year-old city sits in ruins today, but was once full of life. This ancient metropolitan was built by Amenhotep II around 1391 to 1353 BC and included a collection of temples, residential areas, and even a bakery. Researchers studying Aten can glimpse life in ancient Egypt, especially within one of the largest industrial hubs along Luxor. The team also found a production area for mud bricks used to build temples and other structures. The bricks bear Amenhotep's seal. Casting molds show that workers in the city produced amulets and decorations for temples and tombs. Evidence of spinning and weaving exists at the site, too. A zigzag wall with just one entry point encloses an administrative and residential area, suggesting that authorities maintain security by limiting movement in and out. One room within the city contains the burial of 2 cows or bulls, an unusual find that researchers are still investigating. In another odd discovery, the team found a human burial with the remains of a rope wrapped around the knees. The team has not yet been able to fully explore a group of rock-cut tombs accessible through stairs carved into the rock. The Sacred Animals Cache. In November 2019, Egypt's Minister of Tourism and Antiquities called El Anani announced a new discovery in the archaeological area of Saqqara, made by the Egyptian Archaeological Mission headed by Mostafa Waziri, Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, during its work in the Cemetery of Animals. The findings include a huge collection of 75 statues of cats of different sizes and shapes, made of wood and bronze. 25 wooden boxes with covers decorated with hieroglyphs with mummies of cats, wooden statues of different animals, including the mongoose, the kafapes, small crocodiles with the remains of mummified crocodiles, and the deity Anubis kept inside, a large scarab made of stone, other small scarabs made of wood and sandstone, with scenes of gods. This is in addition to a distinctive wooden statue of an ibis and another group of statues of ancient Egyptian deities, including 73 bronze statues of the god Osiris and 6 wooden statues of the deity Tas-Soker, 11 fans and wood statues of the goddess Sekhmet, as well as a beautiful wooden statue of the goddess Neith. The discovery also contains 2 small limestone sarcophagi of the cat Bastet, as well as a stone plaque bearing the name King Stantic I of the 26th dynasty, a small wooden box with the remains of a gilded mask, and 2 wooden statues of 2 women, each with a cobra's head, and a frieze of wood representing the life of a cobra. Ancient tombs in Dakahlia Governorate. Egyptian archaeologists have unearthed 110 burial tombs on the Nile Delta dating to periods before Egypt's famous dynasties and pharaonic kingdoms had emerged more than 5,000 years ago. They also found tombs nearby from the later Hyksos period from between 1650 BC and 1500 BC, when Western Asian migrants took over the country, putting an end to Egypt's Middle Kingdom. The findings in the Dakahlia province north of Cairo could shed light on 2 important transitional periods in ancient Egypt, Egyptologists said. Included are 68 oval-shaped tombs from the Buto period, and it spanned from the 6th century BC to 3300 BC, and 5 other oval-shaped tombs from the Nakatar period, which was just before the emergence of Egypt's first dynasty around 3100 BC, according to a statement from the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities. Khoy Cemetery. The cemetery of Khoy, the supervisor of the royal palace in the late 5th dynasty, was discovered in the ancient Saqqara Cemetery in April 2019. Due to its importance, the American Archaeology magazine announced its selection among the 10 most important archaeological discoveries for 2019, placing a picture of the cemetery with its colorful walls on the cover of the magazine for the January/February 2020 issue. The Egyptian mission, headed by Dr. Mohammed Mujahid, succeeded in uncovering the tomb during the excavation work and the scientific recording of the hierarchical group of King Djedkher Isi of the 5th dynasty south of Saqqara. What do you think of this video? Let us know in the comments below. And most importantly, if you wish to be updated about more history viral videos, you should consider subscribing to our channel and pressing the bell icon so we can make more videos for you. Also, thank you for watching the videos, and we will see you in the next video.